Okay, everybody, I'm not going to show myself much on there because I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. But I purchased these lamps on Facebook Marketplace, and they were more of an antiqued kind of silver color. So I just did a quick coat of a one-step white paint by Amy Howard. I might have brushed a little bit. I mean, I left it rough looking because I don't mind that at all. And I like the distress look. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Rub and Buff Gold to accent the pieces. Excuse my workspace, it's a complete and utter mess, and this is what real life is like when you're DIYing. It's not a pretty little workspace like all these other YouTubers do. Okay? This is reality. My space is a hot mess. Anyway, you take this little tube of Rub and Buff. This is a tiny tube, but I usually need a bigger. You don't need very much of it. You can put a little bit on your finger. You could put it on a towel if you want. You can do it however you want, whichever way you'll have more control over what you're doing. And you can just kind of, I love to use raised stuff. I mean, and you can just rub it wherever you want it. I just rub all over the place. And see how it kind of accents, brings out the white. And you're going to do the entire lamp like that. In different spots. It does not have to be even. It does not have to be perfect at all. That's the whole plan. I don't know why I can't bend this phone down further so you guys can see what I'm doing. But sometimes I'll use it on a towel, and then I'll just put a little bit of Rub and Buff on there. You can do a little bit like around the edges of here. But I've already done another lamp like this, and I put a good bit of gold on it, so I just kind of rubbed it all over it. It's kind of like a French provincial look, where it's just real distressed and aged looking. So you really can't go wrong with this type of style. That's why I like it, because I have usually many irons in the fire, and I have too many projects to complete in a weekend that I just don't have time to have perfect looking. See, I have a lot of excess on there, so I'm just going to rub it all over this lamp. Where'd my spot go? And you can just kind of rub it all over. See where it ends up. Granted, if you end up with too much gold and you really don't like it and it looks too heavy in that spot, you can always kind of put a little bit more in other areas, or you can add more white and just add more white, just so it doesn't look so much. But I already did the tops of the finials, see, just white, and just Rub and Buff on it wherever, and have that whole unfinished look. And the tops of these lampshades, see these harps happen to be gold already, and since the hardware and everything is all gold, the lampshades that I have for these are silver. And let me show you. It's a white lampshade. This is how they came. But since they're silver and the hardware here is brass, I don't want that. I don't want it to have a two-tone look, so you can simply do the same thing on this and just Rub and Buff the gold on this metal. If it doesn't get it gold enough for you, which it probably won't do so great on the metal, you can use the gold leafing paint. And it looks like I might have to go that route. So then you'll just use this. You'll use liquid leaf, a little bit of paintbrush, and just do the top of the harp using that gold leaf paint. and it'll blend nicely with your brass hardware. Since I had the white paint out, I painted other things white that I wanted to do. I found this cheap little melamine type charger dish. I'm just going to use for a decorative backdrop on something that I want to do a project later. But I went ahead and slapped some white paint on it because it just was kind of like a tan color. I didn't really like it. So I touched it up with some white paint. And then I'm going to do rub and buff gold on this as well. So sometimes I try to do multiple projects at one time while I have my product out. And you just kind of, I just put some on my fingertip. Like that. And just kind of rub it where you want it. And it just emphasizes that a little bit. And then you can take a little sanding block if you want to make it more distressed looking, a little rough. Sometimes I'll use a nail file. But it was already distressed and dark in some spots before on this plate. So I'm probably going to do something like that. I'm just going to distress it. Just a little bit here and there. That's all you got to do. That is primarily why my business is called Shabby Chic Boutique. I love the shabby chic look. And like I stated earlier, I don't have the patience to make things perfectly. I like it distressed and aged. And you see, it just gives it a little gold shimmer there. So, easy peasy. These lamps will be looking great when I'm done.